congratulate the CS for the good intervention and also the SG and the other leaders, because we need the students back to class. It is very difficult, Chair, to convince students in all levels of education that they are going to get education and get jobs that will give them salaries if the people who are teaching them are not getting enough salaries and on time. I would ask our chair to incorporate all the government leaders involved, including Parliament, to make sure that we do away with anything that is not a priority in this country and get enough money to pay the lecturers once and for all. And if possible, we can even double their salaries so that they are able to do their work accordingly. There are very many issues and very many ministries in the Republic that we can suspend a bit and get the same funds to come and settle the issue on education once and for all. It is becoming difficult to convince students to study hard, to become teachers and lecturers, because they are seeing their lecturers are at home. And it is difficult also to convince the students that they are going to be employed by the government if their own lecturers are at home. But all in all, we are asking the SG and the team to have mercy on the public university students, because the students in private schools are going on with their studies, and those students are feeling like they are losing. Thank you, Chair.
Actually, they are not feeling, but they are losing. They are losing. They are losing. And I think, as I had given new members and everyone else, that we need to have a point of convergence. And SG, I know you very well that you are a fighter, and you've achieved a lot for your members. And on their behalf, Kudeya and Kusu,
thank
you being their leader.
Chair.
Yes, I want to give you about 3-4 minutes.
3-4 minutes.
Yes, and then we...
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I want to thank this committee for listening to us. For the sake of the children and students of this country, we are going to convene the organs of the union so that we can reconsider. However, the ministry should apologize to us for calling us confused and that we should go back to class. The next thing, IPCCF should reconsider how they manage university staff. A study should be conducted on motivational and job satisfaction needs of public university workers in Kenya. The way IPCCF manages university staff is perfunctory. If you can see the way lecturers came out to strike, those are people who could go up to January. But because of your chairmanship, because of the honorable members that have talked to us, I'm going to plead with our members so that we can reconsider. You don't push us. You don't call us names. The next thing I'm saying, the worst of the worst, Chair, is 80-20. They give us 80% and 20% to remain. 80% will be 5 billion. So that 2 billion is taken to 2026, 2027. My irreducible minimum, for the sake of you and the honorable committee members and the students of this country. Thank you very much.
Order members. You are not the one paid by the SG. As much as you'll pay this money, you need a well-motivated, a well-appreciated worker, a worker who, when he wakes up, he actually admires his university and he wants to be there the earliest in the morning. But if he's going there just because he knows you might give him a sack or because you might warn him, he will not render any service to you. So maybe you'll tell us what you are doing to improve that, and you must improve it. And this committee will undertake a number of oversight visits to universities on that particular issue only, to see how your staff are, and we'll meet them. on issues that we think are very pertinent to you. Some, even if you pay them very little and they are living in a better environment, they'll still work. So that's something to you. Things yes. On the issue of confusion, I know who is confused.
Let me just first say that this has been a very good meeting, and the facts have come out the way it is. And we've come up here with the team from Treasury, and we've put all our facts on the table, where the delays came from. We have stipulated and we've indicated. And let me just say that as a ministry, we are actually going to undertake a review of how this 2017-2021 CBA process has been conducted, but after we've finished, so that we learn from it, so that we do not repeat the same mistakes that perhaps has been made, and we get to understand, interrogate the whole system the way it has been done. On the issue of the amount that is on the table and which has been confirmed by all the parties that they can be able to meet without defaulting is on the 50-50. That's what I would urge the unions, even as they meet their members, to discuss, to see that this is accepted, and then we can go back to work as we continue working on the CBA of 2025-2029. On the CBA of 2025-2029, there is already a process of applying for a review of what the SRC indicated, and I think there is a letter that has already been done, and it will be shared with the unions. It has not been shared with them. We just had a meeting this morning, and the letter has been done. We've given direction as a ministry to IPU-CCF on what needs to be done in that space so that the CBA makes sense. It was out of last year's negotiations that we made a decision that we need to be negotiating our CBAs at the beginning of their cycle so that it is easier to factor them into the budgets going forward. Then it becomes easier to deal with. We are in this quagmire because we are dealing with a CBA in arrears, which then becomes very complicated, loads our CBA, and you know the sector is already getting the largest amount of money, the numbers are increasing, the pressure is on across the board. So we're just trying to see what is the best way we need to do these things to avoid a situation where our students, our teachers, our lecturers keep going out of the class or going to the streets. So we need your help in looking at the global position, not just one side, not just, because the next thing then that would happen is, and it's already starting to happen, the universities are going to start closing down. If they start closing down, we are still in the same place or worse off than we were before. So it is in the interest of everybody, the lecturers, the students, and the unions, for us to have an agreement so that this space can be opened up and we can negotiate the rest of the things. And the CBA for 2025-2029 should be delinked from the CBA of 2017-2021 so that we negotiate both separately and get a clean solution to it without morphing into something else that have been more complicated. So that my plea is accept the 50-50 and let us move from this mountain. We've moved around here for quite some time, and it's unfortunate that it took a bit long for us to agree on the figure. But now that we agreed, it shouldn't be a problem at all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The short problem that we have, if I check in your document, is the implementation aspect of it. The CS National Treasury gave us a macro view of how our economy looks like. The CS knows you are just dealing with one sector. We have other sectors that are actually, we have the foreign debt, we have all these others, the local debt and everything else. I will implore on the unions and the CS that let the implementation not be a big issue, because it is just 6 months away. Immediately you'll be paid 3.85 billion in December. The next payment is in June. So for the sake of our children, for the sake of parents who have paid rent for 2 months and the students are loitering and they are not being taught, let's close the ranks, SG and your unions. Just in 6 months, so that it will give you room to just start the 2025-2029 negotiations. And before you start, we shall bring SRC here to carpet them, because they are the ones who are giving us a mess, not only in the universities, even with the Teacher Service Commission and even other unions, which they are supposed to. Because how they calculated and gave you a figure of 624 million, and later on the same SRC gave 7.9, that means there's a problem somewhere. So to me, I'm imploring on the union leadership that it is just 6 months away. And this committee, we are making a commitment that in June, the first money we want to see in this financial year is the payment of the CBA outstanding of 3.85. I'm trying to dissuade you not to go to 80-20, because the owner of the pass, who was here, Mbadi, moved from 2.1 to 3.85, which is a big leap of almost double. 2.1 to 3.85 is a double. So I'm asking the unions that agree that, and we are committing as a Committee of Education, which we have been friends of unions in this country many along, and even friends of the teachers. I'm a teacher myself by training. We shall make sure we factor in first charge 3.85 billion for arrears of CBA 2017-2021 in the financial year of 26-27. SG, kindly.
I've got you.
Yes.
What I'm asking, you are pushing this thing to December. No. I thought my members are going to get money immediately.
Oh, it's immediate.
Immediately.
Huh?
Let us money.
It is immediate. No, that's
immediate, not
that's
December.
Okay. That's okay. That's
and
okay.
we are not going to write on or before.
Yes.
Immediately.
Chair.
I think it was
Chair, let me just make something clear here.
Yes.
Let me just make something clear here.
Yes.
This is a house of record.
Yes.
As we speak, we've not agreed on the 3.85. Just hear me out. It is supposed to be agreed, then put in the supplementary or reallocated. So to say immediate, this is a government. You don't pay immediately. It is on the basis of the supplementary, which is this coming month. And you are here. Everybody knows that this team, the unions, are the professors. They're the ones who teach economics and commerce. It's not possible for me to agree here and say immediately I go outside, once they sign, I give them the money. There's that process. So we just need to make our members understand that once we are agreed that now the 50% is agreed, we write to Treasury and that process is done. So really it's unfair for when it goes out to the public in that sense that it is immediate, maybe they'll start asking for money next week when it is signed. So this is the difficulty that we get into. We need to, as a country.
Yes, we hear you.
You hear me?
And in government, we know there are procedures, there are processes to be followed. But when we talk about now, we are talking about this, what do you call it? The current supplementary, which is
correct
around the corner.
Correct.
So, and we know very well that you still also has the power of Article 223. If you can go and negotiate with your colleague who was here, you can still do that.
Chair,
ours is to actually give you the nitty-gritties. We don't want to run your ministry.
Chair, one of the things that I am not prepared to do is lie or give promises I can't keep. Article 223, and IMF, it's not going to happen. We'll write to Treasury and they'll tell us we are not applying 223. We are going to do, it's not an emergency, we are going to do the supplement, and then we land into a problem, and then they go back to the streets. All I want us to do is agree on a process that we know is acceptable and clean, that we can be faulted on.
Yes. Order members. I don't want us to go into discussion because you have reached an agreement. The nitty-gritties of implementation is between the CS and the unions. We are not part and parcel of going to implement when, how much, who is getting what. If we are in principle have agreed, it is going to be between this supplementary. This is the committee that is going to process supplementary. We want to assure you, SG, it is within this committee that we are going to make sure that is done. What the CS is afraid of is a paycheck tomorrow. And that's what you are saying. Yes. Which actually is not feasible, as we discuss now. It's not possible.
So when is the CS
tomorrow.
suggesting?
Order,
the CS
order,
is suggesting
order,
what?
order. You're out of order. So the CS is in agreement, but the issue is it is supposed to be in a supplementary budget. And we are all in agreement on that. So you go back and do the return to work formula, and those are the issues you will capture it. SG, yes, yes.
Let the CS invoke Article 223. He will regularize that when it comes before you.
Order,
Our
yes.
members are requesting, I have a note here.
Yes.
Our members are saying, dancing on the street for 2 months, they cannot go without money. We humbly request the CS. Kindly,
Yes, yeah. Let's hear from National
let
Treasury.
our members not go without
Let's
something.
hear from National Treasury.
Chair.
How the process is. We are in agreement, but the process. Yes.
Chair, and riding on what the CS already communicated, I think he's committed to paying the 3.85. But however, and Chair, you are aware that there is a way payments are ordered. For example, if you have debt payments, even if you wanted to honor the 3.85, there is an order of prioritizing. But as the CS is saying, it is not right to commit here to say that Article 223 can be invoked because it requires cash. But a commitment is you look at the cash flow, and at that point, then there can be a commitment on when that will be paid. But there are processes to go through to get to funding the additional budget. So I agree with the CS.
Yes.
It is not right to make a commitment here, but it shall be looked into and it shall be prioritized. I think that's the, but we should
Now you are making things worse. Eh? You are making things
It's
worse.
making it worse.
You are going in a very wrong direction. I don't want even you to make further
Does
comments.
he even want us to stay out
No,
until they meet those
No.
commitments?
I just want to caution.
We are softened and you are hardening.
Order members. Order. In fact, I agree with SG.
Chairman,
Yes, what's the issue?
Chairman,
What's the issue?
I'm just saying, allow me to say this, Chair, and ask the National Treasury, please don't go in that direction.
Yes.
There has been a lot of goodwill here,
Yes.
especially from the
He's
lecturers.
squandering the goodwill already.
And the minister is again right to say it may not, on matters National Treasury and payments, it may not be immediately as you walk out of this room, but within a framework that is being agreed between you, the National Treasury, and the Ministry of Education, and actually this kind of money qualifies under Article 223, but 223 cannot be implemented in this room here. It has to be, there must be some negotiation somewhere, because Article 223 says you can only apply in circumstance that was not foreseen. And this money of 7.9 was not foreseen, and therefore it was not in the budget, and therefore can be applied in an agreement where parties can be able to agree, look at their priorities, and say this can be done. Chair, look, Chairman, and I want to be practical. Even today, as we sit here, the supplementary budget has not been processed, and we are going for the long recess from the beginning of December. Looking at those things, it is only fair that this team, and with your advice, Chairman, your experience, be able to sit somewhere with the National Treasury, with Songa and their team, and be able to craft a plan where possible, applying Article 2.3 becomes real, then it can be implemented with a lot of peace.
Thank you.
And we ask the lecturers never to sack Wasonga. He is a fighter and he has fought for you.
Thank you, members. Members, I want us not to indulge ourselves in areas that are not of our purview. And I want to advise you on that. The two protagonists, the two groups have agreed on. The basis of implementation is immediate, but the immediate is a process. And I want SG, you have really achieved a lot. Just go and sit and see when are you doing it. You have the support of this team. And the CS has committed himself, National Treasury has committed themselves. Up to when I think we can say if you can do it by December, that's December salary could be good. But I don't know what the CS will say. But this committee is ready. If the supplementary budget comes here, and even if need be, we need to sit behind the tent and discuss more. But I want you, first of all, go and talk to your colleagues. We end the strike. You have the goodwill of everyone. And the last thing I wanted us to ask, IPCCUF, a number of you have issued threatening letters to lecturers, have even show cause, have even indicated interdiction or even going home. I want you to pronounce yourself that those letters shall never see the light of the day. Withdraw them immediately so that we can leave this room when everybody is okay.
Even salary, they have not paid. They have refused.
They have refused.
So, no, let us leave this with a clean hand.
So that we finish this whole fight. So that if we go that direction, we want to, I know you'll go and do the return to work out there. One of the things we will require you, IPCCUF, and the chair of the forum, is actually to don't squander this goodwill we have now. By just some I'm told are still issuing letters, even as we sit here. That means you don't respect this committee and you don't respect this sitting. Chairperson, who is the chair of the vice or the IPCCUF chair? Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I would say those are matters of law. We will leave them there.
Matters of law?
Yes, because if somebody has not worked, yeah, if, Chair, let me finish.
Yes.
If there are those that are obstructing others from working, there are those that are walking to classrooms where exams are being offered and then going disturbing and tearing those papers, I think those are behaviors that we should not be encouraging. Mr.
Chairman, point of order. Point of order, Chairman. Please ask the Minister of Education to make a decision.
Order, members. I don't want, one of the things that we want to discuss, and I want Waziri to note this, the goodwill from from the unions. We do not want to start another meeting, another agenda of dismissals, of litigations unnecessarily. Waziri, I think we implore you and we ask you to rein in on your officers that those particular issues of warnings, interdictions, let them not come before our committee. Yes, Waziri. And that is it. So that we end this amicably, because that is what the lecturers are giving me. Up to now, they are saying they are being given interdiction letters now as we sit.
Union views, they have refused.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yes,
Chair, you know, this is a conciliation meeting. And teams came here with their hardline positions. And already we have bridged the gap, and the union and everybody is willing to, to tango on that. And IPU, CCF cannot still stick to their hard positions. You're going out of here with a position that we have had a conciliation meeting, and that meeting has suggested you do ABCD. If you have had those punitive measures against the lecturers, for us to have peace and harmony, for us to have an agreement to call off the strike, you also need to sit ground. You don't need to stick to your knee. And then finally, Chair, the Secretary General said they have been dancing on the streets. I think this being a house of records, industrial action is not, it's a constitutional right. It's not dancing on the streets. And I would want to correct.
It is the how.
It is the how.
Yes.
And I want to correct the honorable.
That's how they did it.
Thank you.
Order. Members, I want to thank the ministry, and the resolutions of this house, the resolutions of this committee shall be communicated, actually signed before the house. And one of the items which is well captured is the issue of disciplinary actions. And I think I want us to capture it very well so that we can communicate it back to you. And those are resolutions that we are going to agree here. And it should be binding to the unions and to you, the administrators, because it will actually be very improper. Because we came here with clean hands, with goodwill, All of a sudden, one team has a dagger behind the back. Yes. If one team has a dagger behind the back, then this house will not agree. So we shall sit down, we shall communicate, and I want to thank the unions, I want to thank the CS for actually the short time that you've been in the sector, CS. I want to appreciate the kind of leadership skills that you've demonstrated. Last year, we talked about the CBA, we finished it. This time the CBA came before us, we are almost clearing it. And two, you have also, the unions, you have actually been very magnanimous to us. You know the parents have suffered, they are paid 2 months of rent. The students have not been taught. The students have wasted about 8 weeks. They have not been taught. Now the universities, you have a duty to make sure that as they return to work, you go back to teach. All the students that were supposed to cover in this first semester is covered duly, and I think that is your administrative duty. And lastly, that no worker shall be intimidated or victimized. That is something that we as a committee are really insisting on. No worker shall be victimized, and more importantly, let the strike end today the way the SG has done. Yeah, you have achieved tremendously a lot. If you are supposed to be rated as an SG, you are actually almost 80%. And your colleagues would not have the guts to sack you. When you achieved for them last year, you have achieved for them now, and you are heading to a negotiation of CBA of 2025, 2029. And on that note, that one will be, when you agree on that, you will have done the best for yourselves. So with those many remarks, I want us to conclude, and I want to thank everyone. The meeting has been long, but it has been very eventful. We have achieved for our country, we have achieved for our parents, and we have achieved for everyone. Everyone is a winner here. And I want to thank all the participants for this. Thank you, and our meeting is over. Asante.
Photoman. Sorry. Kena. No, video mbaya.
Sawa. Asanteni.